Wow, it's Doughboys Double. I'm Tiger Weiger along with the Spoon Man, Mike Mitchell. Mitch, we're talking Flight Risk, the Mark Wahlberg film directed by Mel Gibson that as of this recording...
Directed by the ambassador to Hollywood.
That's right, the ambassador to Hollywood. Yes, Mel Gibson. We've this episode we're recording in advance of the movie's release, so we have not seen it. This episode is going to the Frank Bake, so it's coming out a little bit later in February. Mm-hmm. Are you pumped for Flight Risk? I kind of want to see it.
I want to see it, too. Yeah. Is it bad to go see it?
I don't know. It's bad to do anything. What can you do? It's
every man dies. Not every man really lives. And that's kind of the mentality I'm taking into going to see Flight Risk. I want to live. I want to see Flight Risk.
Mitch, I got a root canal on Friday, this past Friday. And let me tell you, have you ever gotten one of those?
No.
It's rough stuff. Over the producer's desk, you got a root canal?
I brushed my teeth.
I have not, but Mike...
I brushed my fucking teeth. I got a crack in my tooth, and it wasn't even my fault. It was a dentist's issue.
Yeah. That I've heard a lot. People end up with root canals because their dentist fucked up.
Yes.
But I have not, but Mike, our video editor, had to have 2 in a month once.
Oh my God.
It's a miserable experience.
Yeah.
Do you floss, though?
Yeah, I floss the shit on my teeth. I'm flossing all the time. Mitch, I flossed this morning.
Mm. Have you ever been a flight risk? Have you ever been considered a flight risk?
You won't go over it every record.
You won't go over the ocean, so
that's true. No, I have not I think that flight risk in the actual sense, in the legal sense, is like you're denied bail because they're worried you're gonna go leave the country or something.
I was looking at Letterboxd and a lot of people were being mean to Braveheart, and I was like, this is revisionist history. Braveheart is good. I know Mel has issues. Mel is troubled.
Mel has issues. He was a good hell of a movie star, and the dude can direct a movie.
Conspiracy theory, pretty good.
Did you hear Moon Shadows burned down?
I know. It was very sad.
Where Mel's old watering hole.
Yeah, the karaoke bar where he went on a famous racist rant. It was caught on audio. Kind of
anti-Semitic rant, I believe.
Anti-Semitic as well, yes. Yeah.
Oh, was it both?
Used all sorts of slurs. It was all over the place.
Yeah, it was a sampling of all of them.
I was there that night. It wasn't that bad. I told him to drive with me. Mel.
We got a sliding doors moment for him.
It really is.
Our guest today from the Birthday Boys and the Sloppy Boys, Tim Kalpakis. Catman, thanks so much for being here.
What is up?
Catman.
Thanks
what
for
a
having
treat.
Me.
Tim, I want to tell you, we're here in February. We're recording in January. I'm doing a thing that we talked about on the Sloppy Boys previously when I guessed it. I'm doing dry January. Mm-hmm. And I know this is a thing, I like to indulge a little bit of grandpa's cough medicine, have a little bit of booze. You obviously have a booze-centric podcast. Mm-hmm. Like, do you find yeah.
Anytime a woman dates me, she during the month of January, she calls it dry January.
I'm doing a whole dry January thing.
Dating Mitch.
Break up with you on February
1st. Do you are you a New Year's resolution guy? Are you ever like, hey, I'm going to the new year, I got to change something about my, whether it's drinking or whatever, I've got to change something about my diet?
I actually, first New Year's resolution in a real long time this year, I said to myself, Tim, you try to be a comedy fan and watch funny comedy and laugh.
Oh,
which is funny because you're pretty good at that already, I feel like.
I don't know. Just before we're rolling, I was telling you about some dark shit I'm into that's really hatery. Well, not dark like black magic or anything.
Yeah, but
like hater.
We'll leave that to the ladies. The ladies like black magic. Am I wrong?
That's astrology that they like.
Yeah, I think astrology is a little different.
Yeah.
Is astrology black magic?
I don't know. It's just stars.
Space is black.
But I don't
That's
know.
true.
I don't know that much about black magic because it scares me. I feel like it's devil stuff.
You mean like witchcraft?
Yeah.
Oh.
What the hell does that mean?
Wait a minute.
What? Nothing. We're not doing anything over here.
Oh, fuck.
My mom thought she was a witch for a while.
Wait, really?
Yeah, she has spell books and stuff.
Yeah,
Oh
I know some people like this.
You said thought she was a witch, but you mean by that meaning she was kind of practicing. That's her way of saying she was practicing witchcraft. She was acting like. Okay, It wasn't that she thought she had some sort of curse or something like a wolf.
No, not like that.
By the way, Jemmy took. Look.
Yeah, for our audio listeners, our video listeners can see it plain as day. But so my normal seat, we're here in the studio, here in Studio G, the big studio. Jemmy is where I'm sitting. She just sort of set up shop there before I got
She took your back
here.
pad too.
And she also took my back pad, so I'm way over on the other side of the couch where the other mic is.
How's your back?
It's not doing great. Actually, like the thing about getting fucking old, like I did a Peloton ride this morning, and then I did like a little warm up, like I tried to do some, very light sort of just active stretching before I do any sort of cardio.
It's not like you almost said active shooting, by the way, but go on.
During the warm up, I like hurt my back.
Oof.
Which I'm just like, during the fucking warm up, I'm doing this to not get injured while I'm doing the thing. Yeah, it's so fucking old.
Have you heard about this back pain book that people say you read the book and you don't have back pain anymore?
No.
Oh my God, I've been sleeping on it.
Oh God. No, there's a book. It's called like Read This and you won't have back pain.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah, it's a short little like novella size book.
This guy should
Now,
read
take a
it.
look.
I'll send it to you.
I read. I love to read, and I loved self-improvement.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
But I don't know, like the backs are so weird. I went to a back doctor, like I fucked up my back and then I went and I got an MRI and the guy was like, you got a slip disc and all this stuff. And then the pain went away and he was going to have me do physical therapy and was like, don't. Like backs are so complicated that if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So my back pain went away and I never like did the physical therapy I was supposed to. But in my meeting with him, he was saying like, there's just so much going on with the back. It's like, it's just too much shit, And that like, that's why I think with this book, people are like, if you understand what's happening, then the pain just goes away because it's the compensating that really fucks you up. Like other muscle groups being like, let's tense up so that this hurt part over here doesn't have to get hurt again.
Yeah, sounds like you're an idiot in that you've been adjusting your back in the wrong way.
I did have a point where I was seeing a physical medicine specialist. I was seeing a back specialist. I ended up doing physical therapy. The physical therapy worked great for me, but I was dealing with an L5 S1 bulging disc, and it's the kind of thing where the guy was just
S1.
The guy was telling me actively discouraging me not to get surgeries, like back surgeries. Like if you can it's like a last resort because there's so often like the same thing you're saying. There's so often to have complications, and the physical therapy just like strengthening my core and my lower body, and then just kind of like it made me naturally kind of change how I walk and sit and stand, and then over time I was just like pretty much healed.
I remember we were working together, and one time we were like walking to lunch, and suddenly you're like, "Oh, tweak my back," and you had to take little baby steps to lunch.
I threw my back out like it was
you
a
like
fucking
4 hours
sitcom.
to walk to lunch.
He also said gaga goo goo and
yeah, no, I
L5 S1.
Yeah,
his back sounds like a freaking bingo night.
Yeah, your back sounds like a freaking bingo at this point. Jesus Christ.
Your back sounds like a freaking bingo night.
When you say, are you saying like, is that like the number up your spine of discs?
Yeah, there's like I forget, I think it's starting from the bottom up. And there's a point where the S's turn into L's.
My S's are taking an L right now. No, I know mine was halfway up my back. On one side, it's pinched a little, so therefore on the other side, it's a little wider than it should be.
Yeah.
So I'm leaning 1 millimeter to the right at all times.
That's funny.
Yeah, that'll fuck you up.
Hey, 4 dogs on the podcast today, am I right?
Awoo.
Awoo.
Rough.
Well. Hey, before we get into this, Tim, you were asking for rec. You're going to be in Toronto.
Yep.
Well, you're going to be in a lot of places.
Wait. Can we go back to? I want to go back to something. But keep going.
You want to go back to us being dogs?
No, I want to go back to. Yeah.
I want to. Are we really 4 dogs?
Ow.
What do you want to go back to?
You said your resolution was to watch more funny comedy.
Yeah.
Like, do you mean just sort of like I'm not going to watch things ironically? I'm not going to hate watch things. I just want to watch stuff that I think is funny that I enjoy. Do you mean new stuff, old stuff, anything?
Ideally, new stuff.
Yeah.
So and just like watch a comedy and laugh at it, and not indulge like hate watching bad stuff or watching something and being like critiquing it, but just like watching and laugh. For example, I sat my whole family down. This was fun.
Yeah.
I said, Mom, Dad, I think you would like Nate Bargatze.
Ooh.
They fucking loved him. I was hanging out with my parents every night. We would like after dinner sit down and watch a comedy special and just laugh.
That's great.
It was fantastic.
That's what it's all about.
I felt like I was like 12 years old and just like watching TV and laughing.
Yeah,
He's funny. He's good.
Yeah.
It's funny you said that because I remember
12 years old.
Well, you wish with that back of yours, but
hey, as a dog, 12 years old, long fruitful life, but
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Maybe
It's
about
old.
time
It's
to
an
put
old
you
man
down.
for a dog. Bark.
Bark, by the way.
Like you'll tell me. I think that that's funny you say that because I think you're usually very up to date on comedy. You'll say, "Hey, at the Elysian tonight, there's like a Thomas Sketcherson or something," and I'll say, "All right, let's go."
That might be part of the problem. I do love Thomas Sketcherson of the Elysian Theater, but then I think that's what makes me hate Hollywood. Is like if you go looking for good comedy on your phone, you'll find it and you'll laugh all the time. And then when you watch like the new comedy that's on TV, it sucks and you hate it.
Yeah.
So I do think I watched but that like I thought of like Nate Bargatze as like mainstream Netflix specials, like type of comedy, and it was very fun to watch.
I should do more of that other stuff though, because I mean, when's the last time you saw a comedy show?
What do you mean?
When's the last time you went out and watched like young new comedians?
Like I went to a theater?
You'd never. I mean,
doing that anymore?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
He does that, and I think
great.
I think being funny or trying to write stuff or whatever, being in the comedy world, it is good to go and do stuff like that.
I'm not in the comedy world.
You're in the comedy world.
Come on.
You're talking to us. Mitch, it's funny because I'm trying to think the last time. There is a very funny sketch group called Simple Town.
Yes, that's what we were talking about.
They were playing, and I texted you, and I was like, I was like, want to go see them? And you were like, oh, damn. Yeah, maybe. Hold on. And then like, you had to see how your day unfolded. The show was later that night. And then I texted you when it was time to leave my home, like 20 minutes to the show, and you were still sort of like, I'm on the elliptical.
Oh yeah.
Is it a treadmill or elliptical?
I was a treadmill. Yeah.
He was on a treadmill, and you were still like, well, I don't know. And I was like, well, I guess the answer is no. No, it's 20 minutes till showtime.
That is the sort of thing now, which in my 20s, I just didn't care about my health at all, which just led me to this.
Right.
And then now it is that sort of thing of like, if I have extra free time, I also am like, I should be doing stuff to keep myself alive.
Well, yeah, I also didn't used to care about sleep, or I'd just stay up super late. And now I'm like, I have a regular bedtime. I have a regular time I wake up. I'm not going to, if I have to go to a show, I'm not getting home till 9 o'clock. Like, that's when I'm getting ready for bed. Are you out of your fucking mind? Like, there's no way I'm going to
Natalie puts you to bed. How much longer does she stay up usually?
She's got some me time. Yeah, she's got the Obama hour.
What's your bedtime?
8 p.m.
10:30.
Oh, 10:30.
Yeah.
Damn.
It's a reasonable bedtime.
Well, you don't get to see Fallon.
Yeah, that's true. Well, I see it the next day. I watch the next day on Peacock.
You start the next morning.
Yeah. Bright and early. It's okay. I want to go back to Toronto, because we were talking about Toronto. We spent some time up there. We did Toronto. We had some lovely meals up there. Kalpakis, you're going for the first time. You were looking for some recs.
I'm looking for recommendations. My parents are from Montreal. I've spent a lot of time in Quebec, but I've never been to Toronto ever.
This is so okay, and I thought that I had been up there, and then I realized I had never been to Toronto either. But there's pea meal sandwiches, and then the other dessert things that I've already forgotten. Which I guess
what it's pea meal. It's a meal of pea.
Pea meal. No, it's you know what it is. You'll like it. It's like Canadian bacon on a sandwich.
Oh shit. They call it back bacon.
Yeah. They call it a pea meal sandwich. There's two spots. There's two original spots that do it.
But they call Canadian bacon back bacon.
Yeah.
They don't call it Canadian bacon.
Sorry. Yes. Yeah. But whatever. This pea meal sandwich exists, okay? It exists. And there's two spots to get it.
No one's doubting
Is it Kensington Market, or there's the two markets, or the other market?
I don't know.
But it's a cool big market, and there's a ton of food there. And then there's another
like a Faneuil Hall style.
Yeah. So I mean, people will tweet at you. It is, yeah. And people will tweet at you and tell you this because we've already forgotten. But
what are you going to be at? Will you be in Toronto as of this episode's release?
I'm going to be in Toronto on February 25th doing a Sloppy Boys show.
1 week
Check me out at the Great Hall in Toronto.
Wow,
a week
Toronto,
from today.
Come on out. Check out the Sloppy Boys. It's going to be a great show.
A week from today.
As of this episode's release. So okay. So people's recs can still get to you if anyone up there wants to tweet.
Yes, and in fact, Sloppy Boys are playing the whole East Coast and Midwest. So if you have any recommendations anywhere, I'll take them.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, but you were gonna say, what were some places that you were gonna cite?
Well, we said Lee Restaurant, which is look that's
like a fine dining spot, but we had a great time.
But also, if you just go and get that damn salad, the slaw.
Good slaw.
Is it like a vinegary slaw?
The slaw it's so good. That slaw was great.
Yeah, it's a little vinegary. It's really yummy.
Is it Saucer Lee is the chef there?
Yes,
he was like an Iron Chef guy. But then also I don't know if he was Saucer Lee maybe is. I'm butchering it, I'm sure.
Susser.
But then I think it is Saucer Lee. He's got stains all over his apron. I don't know if I heard some stuff too that maybe he was with his staff. Something went on, and like with tips or something. So I don't know.
What are you supposed to fucking do?
I don't
go
know.
to the restaurant with the
Can't we just see flight risk for crying out loud?
Tips. Yeah, you got to see. You see a Mel Gibson movie. What the fuck are you supposed to do?
we want the slaw. We want to see flight risk.
Money in the pockets of someone who's an asshole. That's just how the fucking world works.
Let us see flight risk.
We want to see flight risk.
We want to see flight risk.
We'll have seen flight risk by the time this episode comes.
100%.
There's nothing you can do about it.
I've heard that if you tip when you see flight risk, that Mel takes all the tips.
Oh my God!
What are you supposed to do?
You know,
I'm going to the flight risk premiere with Mel. We're doing a Moonshadows pop up.
Their iconic food that they brought back.
The place that I mentioned this before, we've talked about it on the podcast, but the place that we went, Amelia and Emma, we went with Mars, who's actually at Headgum LA today.
I know, I'm very jealous.
Who like we went to this place Tenuno, which is I believe it's a Filipino concept, but they lay out banana leaves, they lay out a bunch of garlic rice.
What was the band? Wasn't there a band? Oh, is it Menudo?
Are you thinking Menudo?
I think I'm thinking of Menudo.
Completely different thing.
All right, well, whatever. It was close.
There's also a soup.
Yeah. Menudo. Oh, it is.
Yeah,
okay.
I think it's named for the soup. I assume.
Oh. Well,
anyway,
go on.
Tenuno, not Menudo. Tenuno, and they lay out a bunch of seafood and then a bunch of other like shit on there, like vegetables, pork. It's so fucking good. I'm trying to remember some of they had some mussels there that were really good, right? Do you remember all the
mussels, shrimp?
Yeah, there was a big white fish.
Squid. Yeah, there was like a bone fish.
Yeah, there's like a whole fish
or
they give you.
kind of thing.
And you just have gloves on. You just eat with your hands. It's
man.
absolutely
I love
delightful.
any communal, when you're dumping stuff on the table. That's so fun.
Yeah, wonderful experience.
What kind of did they have cocktails there? Is there like a?
I think that place that did not have cocktails, but there are definitely a lot of spots you can get yourself some booze in Toronto.
I got a great bar for you. I'm looking it up so I can remember it. There's Maddie Matheson's places. Did you go to any of them or no?
No, I didn't get a chance to.
I said that I was so
Is he
mad.
From there?
I don't know, but he has a bunch of restaurants up there. I think he's from Canada, somewhere in Canada. I said that I wish that you guys never went to Tenuto. That's before the episode started. That I would rather you guys not go than me not go.
Then you miss out on.
Then me miss out on
We also didn't go to one of a Maddie Matheson restaurant because you said you'd be mad if we went without you. So we also didn't go there. So we went to a different place instead.
I said that I would be mad with you if you went without me because I wanted to go with you.
Yes, yeah.
It was Prime Seafood Palace, which is good. That's like one of the big fancy.
That was our other option the night of Tenuno.
And
we were trying to get seafood.
Then which it doesn't really. It is kind of more of a steakhouse, but you made the right choice. But we were then the last night. Everyone was just too stuffed and tired.
Amelia, what's your phrase about fish?
I always gamble on fish.
You always gamble on fish.
A bad.
I'm literally the opposite of my life.
Yes,
I recently had some desert fish. It was very lovely.
What do you mean desert fish?
I was in
There's no
Joshua.
water there.
I was in Joshua Tree and I had some fish.
Oh wow, okay.
Desert fish.
I've never gambled on something that felt like a gamble and have it not work out. The only time I've ever had food poisoning or gotten sick is like it was from totally safe stuff. And then when I'm traveling abroad and trying to eat crazy foods, nothing never backfires on me.
The thing that I learned from about food sanitation is that you're more likely to get sick from underwashed produce than from undercooked meat.
I always remember you telling me this.
Yeah, and so it's sometimes something that seems benign, like I'm just gonna get this house salad, will actually be the thing that gets you sick because just someone didn't wash their hands properly.
This is why I bring my lettuce in the bath with me every time.
Dave, I'm going to tell you the name of this bar right now by just searching. You know how I'm going to find it? Searching Little Canada Wags.
We did go to Little Canada. Little Canada is a delight.
What's that?
Little Canada is we did a whole episode about it, and it is Canada presented in miniature. Everything is scaled down to model railroad proportions. And there's just like each province is like represented in full. It's really, really charming.
Oh, that's fun.
It's a great just sort of walk through.
Imperial Pub. I love Imperial Pub, a weird old 2-floor bar in Toronto. It is like it's divey,
fun,
but it's great. And like the upstairs is like you should check it out. Imperial.
That sounds great.
If they have a large T-shirt, get it for Micus because he wants the large
for Micus. Got it.
Yep.
No problem.
I just thought of something on the witches thing.
What's that?
I was just like, I feel like one of the women in this room may be a witch. And then we cut to Jemmy and a little witch hat appears on her head. Mike, if you want to do that, it might be funny.
I'm sure he's thrilled to do
it. Does an amazing job. It's like, holy shit. It looks so cool.
Jemmy's actually been editing this the whole time.
What were you going to say, Catman?
I don't know what I was going to say, but I like sitting next to Mitch because I feel small. Like in my band, I'm the big guy.
Yeah, sure.
You're tall. How tall are you?
I'm 6'3".
Oh, you're also sitting on a
tall drink of water.
I'm sitting on a booster seat.
Yeah.
I'm
Man,
6'3". 6'3".
Both Doughboys are kind of big guys.
How tall are you?
I'm 6'1".
I'm 6 foot.
Yeah. You're a big guy too,
you're
though.
the 6 foot club.
Mm-hmm.
Is 6 feet tall now? I was just thinking this recently.
I think 6 is like spoken as, I think I can speak for 6 foot tall people and say, I just don't think about height at all. Like if you're taller than me, you're tall. If you're shorter than me, you're short.
Yeah.
But it's just plain.
Yeah. Okay. I agree with that.
I can honestly speak for white men about my height in general. I don't really have any problems. I don't have to worry about anything, really.
I mean, that's because you got that extra inch. I got a lot of problems down here, man. It's rough.
When I was younger, I thought that I was tall, but as I get older and people get
You're a tall
bigger,
drink of water.
But 6'3" isn't even really that tall anymore.
I think we're viewing it through a prism of like we know some tall people, maybe like because I feel like the average height. This is one of those things when you read about like where median heights are. It's like the average height of the American male is still like 5'9" or something. Wow. A lot of men are shorter than. I think we look at the outliers. We look at like, whoa, that guy's 6'7". That guy's fucking tall. He's taller than me, and think that represents the population at large. But in general, I feel like people are not necessarily. I think we're still all above average height.
I have a pitch.
Yeah.
We should do tall month.
Only tall guests?
Only tall guests.
So Emma can stay, but Amelia has to leave?
Yeah.
we need to get Tall John on here anyways.
Yeah, I'd love to get Tall John on.
We need Tall John on the show.
Wait, Amelia, how tall are you?
I'm 5'5". I have similar opinions to Tim. I never think about my height.
Yeah, you're like median height for a woman?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a freak.
Yeah, Emma's a tall drink of water. What are you? You're 5'11"?
I'm 5'10".
5'10".
With shoes on, probably 5'11".
That's like my mom is around the same. Maybe.
And I wear platforms a lot, so I think I hover around 6 feet pretty often.
Do you get the same thing? My mom always says that people will always tell her how tall she is because she's a woman.
Yeah, they'll be like, wow, you're really tall. A lot of times if I meet people that I've never met in person before, they'll be like, I didn't expect you to be that tall.
My mom doesn't like it for whatever. Yeah, she gets annoyed at it.
Women's clothes are not kind to tall people. It's like very annoying to find like pants.
Right. Did your mom, because my mom played college basketball. Did your mom play volleyball or basketball or anything?
My mom coached basketball. She always talks about this. My sister and I are always confused. We're like, what?
She never played, but she did.
she coached it when she taught in a middle school. She coached basketball. My mom and dad met. My dad was a history teacher. My mom was an English teacher. Yep.
I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
Was he a teacher and then a lawyer, or a lawyer then a teacher?
My dad went to law school in his 30s.
Yeah.
He didn't go till kind of a later start.
I've been thinking about going to law school. It'd be a great second.
You could still do it.
Maybe I'll do it.
I mean, he was not that much younger than you. You were pretty old, but he was not that much younger than you. He started law school in his 30s. Somewhere in his 30s.
When I had jury duty, I was like, I was on a trial of jury duty, and I was like, man, I'd love to be a fucking lawyer. I did a great job.
Man, I had jury duty for like 3 weeks on a boring trial. And it was fun because I walked to Grand Central Market for lunch every day.
That's fun.
So that was fun. It was a defamation trial. So it was kind of like someone had talked shit on LinkedIn about somebody else. So it was kind of boring.
Ooh.
But I was watching the two lawyers, and it was funny because one of the lawyers was like doing a whole lawyer. Like he would stand up and take his time and be like, and he was like, it was like sketch comedy lawyer. And I was like, he wasn't pulling it off, you know, like, and it was just that same thing. Like if you do comedy or something, just watching someone do it and whiff, I was like, I would be better at this job than him.
Well, it is a performance in a way.
Yeah, sure.
It is. When Micah talks about it, and I think that look, we do improv and sketch and all that stuff, but to then like
wait, Micah is a lawyer?
Micah's a lawyer, yeah. He
wild, right?
Yeah, Micah's went to law school as well and became a lawyer.
Okay.
And I think he's a lawyer for Boston Public Schools.
Micah's is great.
Yeah.
But he I know it's funny. But he just to talk on like specific points for that long, I don't know. You have to be very.
Oh, I could fucking do it.
I know you would. You would do well on it. That's. I'm saying. I don't think I would do as well on that. I can memorize lines and I can do that, but like to just talk like that nonstop, I don't know if I'd be able to do it.
But you're very human. That's the quality that I lack, is that you're like a human being, and like people would like just want to like you. You know what I mean? Like, so I think if you could make a very compelling, like, human, like, emotional argument.
I have jury duty possibly tomorrow.
Whoa.
I didn't get picked for the first day, but I have to check at 7 p.m. tonight to see if I have to do it tomorrow. And why? Also, if you were a lawyer, it would be good because then you could be your own lawyer in whatever trial you get into, which I'm sure is bound to happen at some point.
What is is it a Mark Twain quip or something? Someone's like that, like any man who would represent himself would have a fool for a client or something like that. It's like,
yes,
it's like you're not supposed to act as your own lawyer. I don't remember what the fuck it was.
You're not supposed to be your own
When
lawyer.
you had jury duty, what was deliberation like for you?
It was just like, well, here's the thing. I was an alternate. So I sat through the whole trial, and so deliberations happened. So I was like, all right, so what's my deal? Do I go in there? And they're like, no, you have to sit aside. So I had to go like sit by myself in case someone like got sick and like had to leave, and then I could go in there and deliberate.
Wait, you were I
was an alternate the whole time. I like observed the whole thing. I talked with everybody, like we were hanging out, and then when deliberations start, they were like, okay, so as part of deliberations, the alternate has to sit separately.
Oh, could you go into? Oh, wait, so you couldn't go into the jury room?
No.
What the fuck?
I was there for the trial.
Stolen valor.
I watched the whole trial. I took notes.
So you're saying you didn't have jury duty?
Yeah.
I was there the whole fucking time.
You had alternate duty.
Yeah, it's true.
That's fucking bullshit.
I was on the jury.
I like, it's weird because
Alternate's not on the jury.
All right, well, I was served jury duty.
Right,
I was
fine.
sitting in the jury box.
Too. Okay.
I was sitting in the fucking jury box. I was taking notes the whole time. My responsibility, my constitutional responsibility, was to render a verdict in this trial if I was called upon. I was not called upon because no one got injured.
I could go to a hockey game and they could let me sit in the penalty box, but it doesn't mean I played on the team.
But if your job was to go sit, like, hey, you got to be on the hockey team, and you know what, you're not going to get in the game, but you're still on hockey.
It's
the same fucking thing. Do you think? So do you think I could have just not shown up, Mitch? You think I'd just been like, "Oh, I'm an alternate. I'm not fucking going." No, they wouldn't have done. They would have locked me up.
As a juror,
you don't think they would have cared?
If I didn't have alternates waiting, I wouldn't be able to do my job as a juror. I need that comfort and security, knowing there's someone waiting there taking notes that they're not going to use.
Thank you.
But no, it was funny because when we got in deliberation, it was kind of a mess because I was like, I didn't want to be the foreman. I didn't want to have any job because I was like, I'm going to do my civic duty,
right.
But I didn't want to. Look, these people were very stupid, all the other jurors.
Sure.
And I'm not super smart, but I could tell I was like the smartest person by a mile. And I was like, if I start talking, I'm going to take over this thing.
Yeah.
And then one lady said a thing that was like totally wrong, like saying like, that witness said this. And it was just wrong. So I was like, oh, actually, that's not, I corrected her. And then suddenly everyone looked at me and was like, oh, we're going to listen to Tim now.
Yeah.
And then it was a bummer because now I'm deciding the fate. Also, the lady, like, we were going to like rule against a nice lady who was just wrong, but I didn't want to be like leading a jury against a nice lady plaintiff, you know?
Yeah, sure.
But so it was funny, like you mentioned notes. Like there was a lady sitting next to me taking notes all day, every day. And then when we got in the thing, her notes were useless to us. There was just nothing there.
Yeah, you can't write down everything.
Nobody had any notes. Nobody knew anything. And it made me really scared. I was like, if this was a murder trial or something, it would be awful because everyone here is dumb.
Yeah. It seems like there's an issue with the criminal system here in the States. Yeah. I mean, I know that's it's
a real controversial
take here.
Yeah.
But,
hey, speaking of verdicts, we got a verdict of our own to render. We're going to decide the best zero soda.
What a segue!
Zero to hero. What were we going to say, Mitch?
This is just one last thing on the tall thing.
Yeah.
Here's where I was getting my car yesterday to go to a rap party, and I hit my noggin on the side of my car getting in. Which is not good for me dealing with brain fog this last year. But I was like, oh yeah, you do hit your head every so often.
I do hit my head a lot. I'm not even that tall. I just hit my head because I'm fucking dumb and clumsy.
And it is, this with flights. Flights are 6 feet. How do you do? Is it slightly uncomfortable? Like
middle seat's a bummer.
Yeah, middle seat is. I mean, but also you're not a small person either.
I'm wider than I am tall. But no, I don't like. If you look at the ceiling of your car, does your hair gel create a slick on the ceiling?
No, but I also I put my seat down so low that that never happens to me. But that's why I was like falling in my car, hit my head on.
Wait, do you like lean back while you drive? You're like a low rider?
Yes, I pull a little bit of a fat Joe.
Wow. Mm-hmm. I can't do it. I got to be upright.
I go back. I kind of sink down in the seat.
How do you reach the steering wheel?
I like it low. I move it just enough so that my hand is on the steering wheel, but I like it low. And
I got a convertible.
You're like a low rider guy too.
Well, I'm kind of a low rider, but I would have to, if I have the rag top up, it's really low on. It's like I'm wearing a hat.
Right. No, I know that feeling because
the T-Bird, right?
We have a Chevy Bolt, and the Chevy Bolt is like just right here. It's like a very, very pretty compact car.
That sounded like an impression of my child. The birthday boys always made a joke that if I just had a baby and then I would let it,
he would have a kid and then he would like not teach it anything or send it to school. He would just be walking around, like, like gnawing at her legs. Oh, it's bitch's kid.
I think that's maybe how Feral Man maybe came around. Yeah, that's a possibility.
Funny sketch. My mom, about tall, but so my mom's like 5'7" now. She was maybe taller when she was younger, but she's like, it's a generational thing. She's like, I was a tall girl back then, so I played basketball, and she played basketball the way through college, which is weird to think about.
It sucks being a tall guy and then you suck at you know what I mean? Like I was bad at basketball. Yeah. In this movie I worked on, Donna Carey was a producer on it, and his son worked on the movie, and he had a list of his favorite birthday boy sketches.
Oh, that's fun.
And yours, his number one was, I think it was Book Guy.
Hell yeah!
I was gonna say yours.
He
got a lot of yours.
Damn.
Look, it was like number 7 when my first one came up. I was pretty pissed off.
That's awesome that he had a ranking.
Yeah, he stopped at 15.
Wow.
He listed 15, and I was like, I don't even know how many more schedules we have.
Is he watching these on Pluto TV?
I don't know, because he's young. He's a younger guy. I don't know how old Otis. How old Otis?
What's the best? Is that the best way to watch the birthday boys these days? Pluto?
Yeah,
I know that the DVDs are not necessarily easy to come by.
No, they're a collector's item.
Yeah, they're a collector's item.
I've got a stack if anyone wants them. But
do you have a stack? I think I have 2.
I have probably like 5 of each season.
Ooh, wow.
With special features and stuff. But
I might have to buy one of you. I don't
it's on weird stuff like Plex and everything. But I think on Tubi, Pluto. Pluto's the one where it almost feels like you could like have the feeling of like broadcast TV.
regular
like,
ass TV.
You could go to like Birthday Boys television and watch a day of Birthday Boys, or like IFC.
Yeah, always on, slightly off
there
channel.
You go. Hell
yeah.
Free ad-supported television, FAST. That's a big acronym.
And you know what?
Yeah.
I mean, they try to get some stuff, didn't they, this year with residuals for stuff like that? I don't know if it worked out.
I got a huge check. Enormous.
Some of your work is on there too, Wags. Comedy Bang Bang is on
how about that?
Like that.
Hey.
All right, let's get to some zero sodas. So Amelia, we got a bunch of these. I know we got to go grab them from the fridge. Should we take a break real quick? Here, we're going to take a break. We'll be right back with more Doughboys Double.
Wow.
All right, we're back. It's Zero to Hero. We got a bunch of zero sodas. We've got the Sprite Zero. We got Canada Dry Zero. I'm kind of going in terms of color here, in terms of density and in terms of how dark it is. We got Sun-Kissed Zero. We got A&W Zero. We got Dr. Pepper Zero, Pepsi Zero, and Coke Zero. A bunch of different varietals here. Tim, where do you stand on a zero soda? Do you like yourself a zero soda?
You couldn't have picked a better thing for me to be doing.
Wow.
I've bought all of these. I've had all of these.
Wow.
Sprite's my least favorite.
Oh, shit. I mean, we don't have to do the segment.
Let's start with Sprite.
I love it. I try not to have sugar in my home, so I do a lot of zero. I'm a big drinker, so I'm always mixing Dr. Pepper Zero with whiskey. Is delicious.
Can I? Ooh,
yeah, oh my God.
Oh my God. Why you're spilling. Can I say this?
Yeah, please.
This segment is brought to you by Billy Corgan.
Zero.
Explain. What am I missing?
He sang a song called Zero.
And he wore a t-shirt that says zero.
Oh boy, I don't remember this.
But the impression sounded a lot like him, though. And his famous song, Billy Corgan.
Tim, I know you love the zero sodas.
I'm pouring myself a little bit of Sprite Zero. I'm passing the bottle around. Everyone feel free to
You didn't really pass around. Portion. You just kind of left it there. But, Tim, I like this move.
I'm getting my sparkling water out of my other cup so that I can have the same cup as you guys.
I liked, at first, I was like, wow, zeros. These are like enhanced diet sodas. Then I kind of was like, I like Coke. I'd like Diet Coke more than Coke Zero. Here's the thing, though. After a while, and I do like a Diet Coke sometimes, but I've been taking that Zepbound.
Yeah.
And I like Coke Zero a lot on the Zepbound. I don't know why. The Diet Coke doesn't work as well for me. and regular Coke doesn't work, so I like Coke Zero.
I don't.
Do you think there's any like that's just a strange chemical?
That might be a
reaction?
weird. I think it honestly is a weird chemical.
Maybe when the doctor gives it to you, they're like, one weird thing. You're gonna like zero more than diet.
So Tim, I'm like you. I try to avoid liquid calories as much as possible.
Mm-hmm.
Although I do love like a sweet beverage, but I'm just like I just can't have this in my home. So yeah, I find myself drinking more zero sodas. We've tried a lot of them, and I will say that we've had success with some of the ones like the 7-Up, some of the more exotic varietals, like the 7-Up Shirley Temple Zero is like delightful. That's really good. Now like it's the A&W cream soda, not the A&W root beer, but the A&W like cream soda zero, and that's really nice. I think the zero game is like it's gotten really good. Like the science they've gotten to these, they've gotten really good at recreating all these flavors.
That being said,
I just don't like the taste of diet at all anymore because I've had so many zeros. Go on.
That being said, this tastes like chemicals. It's like the aftertaste is like.
I mean, the game with all of these is the first sip's good.
Yeah.
And then as you keep going, and especially if it warms up, here's the thing. I only do the little cans, the little crispy crack a can, drink it, get out of there. What are those, like 4-ounce cans?
10 ounces.
10?
Yeah.
Damn. Well, I feel like with diet soda, the last couple sips are warm and taste like chemicals.
Maybe 8 ounces. I think I'm wrong because these are 12.
Yeah.
So the little guys are 8 ounces. Now I've heard a theory. I've heard people say this that like it actually tastes better in the smaller cans. Maybe that's some sort of psychological thing. 7.5 ounces.
All right, so about 8 ounces.
Maybe that's some sort of psychological thing where, but like it's, or maybe just how it's, how it's bottled, how it's canned rather.
A bottle is the worst way to have any soda. The cans are better.
I saw that online when everyone was doing like the different Diet Coke taste tests and stuff. Like they always said the bottle was worst. I don't claim that the small can has the most like delicious aluminum or whatever, but I do think it's the drinking experience. I mainly drink, what I drink is diet tonic water.
Oh, that's fun.
Amelia knocked it out of the park with that game, by the way. I just want to give her credit.
What game?
With the Diet Coke test.
Right.
Yeah, that's why I was pointing at you.
You could say like this one's McDonald's and that one's Burger King.
She got it 100% right, didn't you?
No, I got some of them wrong. I mixed up 2 of them.
Oh,
That's
but
not
didn't
bad.
you say when they're like, you got one wrong, didn't you like correct it? And
I knew which was which. Wendy's was horrible.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it tasted like a science experiment.
Wow.
And McDonald's has a wider gauge straw, so I think that makes a nice experience as well.
I mixed up the straws on this.
Oh
thing.
boy!
But I'm saying no. But they mixed up the straws, and she still got it.
Whoa!
Wow.
I feel like that's not fair. Like it would have to be like, just give all the same straw or something,
or like all in a cup that you just sip out of, or something. You take the straw out of it entirely. Or something.
Yeah. I think that's very hard to do.
I will find myself getting a Sprite Zero at the movie theater. The one context I'll have it. Movie theater, freestyle machine, and it's in the late afternoon.
You're adding flavor, though, to it.
Yeah, I'm usually adding a flavor, but like late afternoon, and I don't want to have caffeine.
Does that flavor have sugar in it?
I don't know if I assume those are just more chemicals you're putting in.
So you go to bed about 8:30, so late afternoon for you is what, 1:30?
Honestly, yeah, my caffeine cutoff's pretty early, yeah.
Yeah.
So I like, it's pretty situational when I have Sprite Zero. That said, of even the clear soda varietals, I think Starry Soda is just strictly better. I think it's just like a better version of this.
Can I
Even in the zero form?
Yeah, I think Starry Zero is a better version of this than Sprite Zero.
That's fascinating because I think I agree, but then I also, those are kind of my, I don't know what it is about the lemon lime sodas that I think those are toward the bottom for me.
Fair enough.
I agree with you.
All right, let's move on to Sunkissed. Oh wait, no, let's do Canada Dry.
Why Canada Dry? Do you think Canada Dry is going to be a not good one?
No, because I'm just trying to go in order of clarity here.
I was trying to think of what would the next worst one would be, and Tim, you already have thoughts on this, but my thought was either the root beer or the Canada Dry.
I think we'll just keep getting darker here. I think that's how we'll do it.
Okay.
Should I not be talking about my preconceived notions about these?
No, I want to hear it.
Yeah.
I love this one.
Ooh.
I like
This one's hitting for you.
Yeah.
Okay.
We've gotten a little bit darker here. This is a very like a kind of a piss color we got going.
I'd say this.
I guess it's a kind of
piss.
is that a little unhealthy piss?
Maybe it's like a mildly dehydrated piss. It's not super unhealthy. I guess probably the bubbles in it would be maybe a little worrying.
a little.
Drink.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. It could just be a powerful urine stream.
Oh yeah.
Just blasted out of there.
I had a big epiphany yesterday, and I announced it to Mike Hanford. He was on my couch, and he didn't seem to care. Maybe you guys will give me a better reaction.
Okay, great.
It occurred to me at 41 years old that I like ginger ale more than ginger beer.
That's fascinating.
See?
That
Fascinating.
I honestly don't even think of ginger ale and ginger beer as the same thing, but of course they are.
Well, I like my whole life. I'm like, if I have access to ginger beer, I'm like, well, that's the fancy one. That's the fancy one.
Yeah.
Like, it's like fermented ginger, and they put a lot of work into it. Ginger ale is just ginger flavored soda. Seems less than, but I like it more.
Here's why this is not fascinating to me, or why I'm on Team Hanford here. Is that no shit? When you're a kid, ginger beer is it's too much. It's like drinking a beer almost. It's like
But yeah,
I wanted ginger ale.
I think that's why though. When I was a kid, I didn't drink ginger beer, and then I aged into it. I'm like, I'm gonna get a Reed's. I'm gonna get a Bundaberg. Look at me, I'm a grown up. And then now I'm like, why was I making such a big deal out of that? I had a good thing going.
I think there's also
great. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was just gonna say there's also a grown-up association because of the Moscow Mule, because you get like you have like the copper mug, and it's just like, oh, I feel like an adult drinking this ginger beer.
It's so fun to have those mugs and everything, but I'm like, I like a whiskey ginger. Just ginger ale
Totally
and
fair.
whiskey is such a good drink.
Now here's what I was gonna say here. Ginger ale, maybe the king of the mixers, right? I mean, look, I'd say maybe Coke is still up there for me because I just love Coca-Cola. I love a rum and Coke. That's like one of my favorite rum and diet or a rum and Coke I love.
Yeah.
But ginger ale and ginger beer, the ginger family, the gingers are
There's a family for just those two drinks.
that is, think about it. Moscow Mule, Jack and Ginger. It's just ginger is a great mixer.
King of the mixers.
King of the sodas, the king of the mixers.
I do love a Jack and Coke.
Yeah, I think king of the mixers is.
You think Coke wins?
I think what ginger does is
I'm just thinking. I don't know.
It really
in
I'm
general
not
in
convinced
life,
on ginger beer
mixers,
or ginger ale.
like mixers that are made for cocktails tend to be stronger, right? Like
Sure.
sour mix or Bloody Mary mix. Like if you have a virgin whiskey sour, that's a weird thing to do.
Yeah.
So a lot of sodas are a little bit wimpy when you add liquor to them, unless there is some alchemy with a Jack and Coke is just amazing. I don't know why it's so good, but it just is. But I think ginger, by having a little bit of that, ginger is a bold flavor, so it stands up to stuff better than some of these. Like, I bet if you had that orange, is it a Sunkist?
Yeah.
I love that, but like, I bet if I put any liquor in it, the orange wouldn't come through.
That's a good point.
But it does work.
This takes the edge off the booze a little bit. It works.
Yeah.
But a grapefruit soda works if like you're doing like a Paloma or something.
Absolutely.
That's delightful.
And squirt, like the original Palomas are just squirt.
Right. All right, we're moving on.
What
to
does your
Sunquist.
doctor say about the level of bubbles in your piss? Does he comment on it ever or no?
Too low.
She, Mitch,
The doctor
she
was a...
This is the second episode in a row I made this mistake.
She says my piss is too bubbly. It's a problem. All right, I think that one's a definite. I mean, look, I don't really like the Sprite Zero. I love the ginger ale. We're moving on to the everyone kind of we're on the same page.
One of only my Quincy friends is a doctor. I know that women can be doctors. I'm not denying it.
Yes.
That's so kind of you.
We're moving on to Sunquist. Sunquist Orange Zero.
Thank you.
Here's the thing. When I worked at The Simpsons, Al Jean loved Diet Sunkist soda.
Yeah.
And I, his little underling, I grew a huge fondness for it as well. And then Zeros.
You were sneaking sips of Gene's stash?
I wasn't sipping his stash. I'd maybe
Bringing him in like a third full like glass of orange soda. He's like, what's going on here?
The thing that was I want to bring him glasses of soda. I would just stock them in the fridge.
Got it.
I didn't bring him his meals or anything like that. But
Got an orange mustache.
does that mean I was like sucking him off or something? Okay.
No, I think he's drinking his soda.
I was
sucking his off. Like his dick is orange? 'Cause he drinks so much orange soda? Like his cum is orange? What? What are you talking about?
I don't know. I thought you were making some suck off joke, but I wasn't doing that. But I grew a fondness for Diet Sunkist, and he loved the Sunkist so much. He would take down quite a few in a day. I won't give the number. Should I say the number?
I mean, if you want.
He could sometimes take down like 6 or 7.
That's
in
a
day.
lot.
Damn.
I definitely had phases like that with sodas where I was drinking way too.
Well, this
many
is
of
what
them.
this one does. I don't think is this caffeinated. I don't know if it is. But
It usually isn't.
yeah, I don't think it is. But I loved Diet Sunkissed. Sunkissed Zero, I'm not sure if I like it as much. I'm gonna find out right now.
I don't really like Diet Sunkist. I don't really like Diet Orange Soda in general. I don't think it really works. I think the Orange Zero is pretty solid.
I'm gonna tell you right now.
All right, Mitch is gonna take a taste.
I mean, like, this is up there on my zero list. Like, Coke Zero and this are probably my two favorites.
Kalpakis, how's that treating you?
I like this. I think it tastes really good. I don't drink a lot of orange soda, but so I don't even know what I'm missing. I think this is delicious.
It's nice and smooth.
Kel loved orange soda.
That's fun.
From Keenan and Kel.
Yeah.
Keenan's been on SNL for like 22 seasons. I just saw something about that the other day.
Yeah.
Let's see here. I'm taking a little sniff. It smells good.
Okay. Good nose on it.
Come on.
It's good.
Wow.
Phew.
In fact, so far, this is the least sciencey to me.
Is this your favorite?
Sciencey.
Right now, this is my favorite of what we've had.
Do I like it more than the ginger ale?
The ginger ale is good, but the ginger ale did have that after effect of...
Yeah, it's a little...
Have a couple more sips here, bud.
I mean, I can taste it a little bit, but it works with the orange. The orange kind of negates it for whatever reason.
On one end of the spectrum, sciencey, the other would be Christian? That's how we're
this is the most Christian one so far. Do you guys want to try that? Guys want to take sips? No?
I think I'm okay.
Yeah, I'm okay too.
The hell?
I got myself a Coke Zero for the episode just because, but I don't usually drink. If I'm going to drink a soda, I just go full sugar and like enjoy myself.
Oh,
That's
wow.
fun.
All right. That's fair.
Live a little.
I mean,
But I don't keep
Coca-Cola
soda in my house.
Coca-Cola is the best drink on earth. You know, I think that. But
best overall drink.
Coca-Cola. Come on. An ice cold Coca-Cola. And look,
Is it in a glass bottle? Or is it a fountain?
For me, it's fountain, can, glass bottle, plastic bottle.
If we're talking about, I think we're excluding alcohol for this conversation. If we're talking about any beverage of any temperature,
You can include alcohol with me, baby.
I think I might pick coffee.
that's what I was gonna say. I think I put coffee over Coke.
I
think I'd
drink
rather have a
coffee
cup of
every
coffee.
single
Hot
day.
coffee,
Even
yeah.
when I gave up caffeine, I drank decaf coffee every single
Wow.
day.
Damn.
Coca-Cola for me over coffee.
Yeah.
Love Coca-Cola.
That's fine.
Shit.
An ice cold Coca-Cola?
It's fun. I do like a glass of red wine. That's delightful.
Yeah, Mitch, what about a Mai Tai?
Mai Tai is great.
I love a Mai Tai. That's in my top 5 drinks of all
Bud
around.
Light.
I do love an ice cold Bud Light. If a hot day, you get an ice cold Bud Light, but I don't know, Coca-Cola. Come on, Santa's favorite drink.
The only thing I'll say about Coca-Cola, it is Santa's favorite drink. That's in its favor. The thing I will say about Coca-Cola is especially if you get the HFCS version, it's like a little syrupy and kind of coat your mouth in a kind of unpleasant way.
Oh, high
fructose corn syrup. And so the glass bottle sugar Coke, that's kind of a, very solid case for that. But there was also instances where it's just like, I maybe just want like a sparkling water over a Coke,
Sure.
But anyway, that's not what we're deciding. Bye, Jemmy.
It's okay.
Jemmy's pissed off.
The pillow fell on her and she didn't like it.
She got scared.
Jemmy, you all right?
Go ahead,
Want to come
boo-boo.
back?
Go ahead.
Want to come back?
You can
It's
take the back pillow now. She hated it.
It attacked her.
This is I love an orange soda.
Yeah, it's really good.
personally. And this to me, you're getting too obsessed with the dog.
It threw me off.
He's a dog lover.
So am I. Jemmy, I love you.
Jemmy, I love you.
Orange soda right now is the number 1 for me, but I think that it's going to get dethroned by Coca-Cola.
All right, let's move on to A&W. Here we go. This one I have had. In fact, I might have this in my fridge currently.
Wow.
I definitely have the cream soda.
Isn't it funny that cream soda isn't used for cocktails?
Yeah,
That would
what
be
would
a
you
good
even
mixer.
do? Yeah.
Like rum and cream soda sounds like something.
Yeah.
I'm a former bartender. Did you ever run across cream soda in any drink recipes?
That sounds
No,
great.
that's definitely not something that's in like a bar gun, which
Right.
I said about root beer. We did the root beer episode and someone made the point online that would make every other drink that comes out of that nozzle taste like root beer. And I think cream
yeah.
soda would do the
Right.
same thing.
Yeah, it
Really
can't
strong.
be too distinct.
Yeah, it would be too strong, but I do think rum would be that or like a vanilla vodka or something would be the only thing I could think of that would mix well with a cream soda because it's already so sweet.
Right.
Speaking of Zepbound, I think I almost just barfed from having
Do you want to
too-
stop?
No, I'll be fine. I'm just saying it's a lot of bubbly sodas that we're drinking here. And you know what? I don't love the Coca-Cola when I'm on this drug does taste weird.
I've heard of this drug like affecting food chatter and like and in your brain or hunger, but I've never heard of it changing flavors.
Food taste, it does. It for me.
Have you guys done the like M-berries, like flavor tripping?
Someone gave us M-berries to do for a double a long time ago. And they sat in, they're probably in my garage in a little box.
It's fun. You just eat this little berry and you wait 2 minutes. And then like if you eat a lemon, it's just super sweet instead of sour. So
you
it's
can
delicious.
eat a full lemon.
Sour just turns sweet.
I randomly met the guy who invented those at the drawing room.
Wow.
That's interesting.
He's like, I've made a lot of drugs.
He was on Shark Tank, I think.
He was on Shark Tank, okay.
Yeah, and he was like, he wanted to give me some to do on the podcast, so I'll get them.
Let's do it.
Okay, let's do it.
I've said before, because I think we're gonna do them at some point. It's like I think they're gonna give me a panic attack because I don't handle well to things that like change my, you know.
You'll be okay.
It doesn't last forever, right? Like
I mean,
it's
forever,
like
but
20
it's
minutes.
Yeah, it's quick.
I get what you're saying though. Is like you don't at all feel like you're on drugs, but it is that weird thing to like take a bite of something you're used to having one flavor and it's different. You're like, what the fuck's happening?
Yeah, I think it's gonna maybe it'll be good content, but I think I might freak out.
That's great content if you freak out. I also think I can't believe like chefs haven't used this. Imagine at some cool restaurant where it's like eat this berry and then here's your lemons. Oh, but chef, I can't have a. You know?
I could possibly eat a lemon.
Shut up and eat your lemon. Because Mean Chef is the name of the restaurant.
They love that Szechuan. I feel like that's a big like the Szechuan numbing, peppercorns. I feel like you see that in a lot of like, like fancy restaurants and craft cocktails these days.
Yep.
So that also kind of gives me a panic attack.
Yeah, that's
weird.
This
is fucking weird.
And that's also weird if you get your mouth numbed up from that and then you're having really hot chili oil, like Szechuan chili oil, you're like, this would be hurting me more, but I'm kind of a little bit like numbed out from the pepper.
But won't it still, like, if you get intestinal distress from stuff like that, that will still happen?
Yeah, I think so.
Like, you could hurt yourself without realizing it.
I like the idea of Weiger's brain breaking and then him, like, coming every week with a lemon. Just
It's good. The one thing I like about the numbing peppercorn is it feels like someone else when you're sucking your own dick. The old mouth stranger.
Here's my thing is why haven't they used that, like you were saying, like in a restaurant, but just for like veggies? You can eat like all this boring stuff. It might help
make it good. I mean? Yeah, totally.
Just a stalk of broccoli. You're having fun with it.
Do you think Zepbound is like goji berries?
Maybe it is. It could be.
All right, I'm having the Dr. Pepper now.
Ooh, all right. By the way,
there's also
we didn't even talk about the root beer yet.
Root beer is good. I think that's I think that actually that might be the one that could trick me so far.
Because once again, that root beer flavor is a strong one, and it's blocking the science.
Ooh, there is this. With
this
all
one's
of them,
very sciencey. The Dr. Pepper is very sciencey.
Yeah, see, this is funny because I drink this a lot with whiskey in it.
Yeah,
it's more sciencey when it's not.
The root beer has a sharp science taste, and then it goes away quicker. But it does. The root beer taste does overshadow it a lot. The root beer is good.
This is the Dr. Pepper Zero. Unfortunately, is very chemically. We have had the Dr. Pepper. There's a
Diet
cherry
Dr.
vanilla.
Pepper is loved.
Diet Dr. Pepper is great. The cherry vanilla, and I think there's also like what is it? I can't remember what it's called. Strawberries and cream, maybe.
Oh yeah.
Dr. Pepper Zero. Those are both pretty good, but the regular Dr. Pepper Zero is not particularly exciting.
It's funny. This I agree it's sciencey, but for some reason in this one it doesn't bother me like with other sodas. Maybe I just love Dr. Pepper.
So is Diet Dr. Pepper, you think, better than Dr. Pepper Zero?
I need to have it side by side to check, but like that one at least isn't trying to be. That one's not trying to be a trick, you know what I mean? Like it's trying to taste like its own thing. Whereas this one I think is trying to taste like regular Dr. Pepper and not really succeeding.
Oh, I'm having trouble.
You want to stop? You can tap out.
Sorry. It's burped so bad.
Let it out.
Ugh. Are any of these fizzy lifting drinks?
You'll find out.
One of them is.
I don't think you can fizzy lift the Doughboys. I think we're staying on the couch regardless.
Wonka's trying to figure us out. How can we get these guys on the ground?
Laying.
Susser had, when we were talking about today's episodes, Susser pitched Sketch Cram, where we try to remember as many sketches from 2005 to 2011 as we could.
Yeah.
Which I said my brain is broken. I wouldn't be able to remember
sketches
many.
by us or from pop culture?
I think I think sketches at the UCB Theater. I think by us was a part of it, and we were saying that just remembering sketches from the UCB Theater would be very problematic.
Yeah.
But then he also said the idea of coming up with a sketch. If we did a sketch, do you think you'd come up with a good sketch in an hour for a future episode? I'm saying.
What do you mean? Like we sit down and we like have? Oh, okay, we don't have any ideas, or do we come in with
no
idea?
ideas?
No ideas. We start from nothing, and then we. I think we could. Well, first off, we got one of the best sketch writers in the game.
That's
Tim
true.
Kalpakis
Come on now.
We got a ringer.
Kalpakis is in here.
One-time Emmy nominated, 2-time WGA nominee.
Oh, I thought you were about to say stuff about us.
I'm agreeing with you guys about me.
Catman could do it for sure. I think, Mitch, you and I, we put our heads together. Yeah, we could definitely crack a sketch.
It would be really funny then to do that, and then like a year passes, and then you guys come up with this like well-produced sketch, and you have wigs, and you're doing the whole thing. It'll be awesome.
Here's what I think.
We were saying that if we just put a new Birthday Boy sketch on YouTube one day, like,
yeah,
like,
we're just
really
like
funny.
everyone this week's sketch, and be like, what the fuck? And it was like totally like had a budget, and we're wearing lav mics. And like, these guys made a sketch.
Yeah, I think that actually is the way to do it. If we wrote a sketch and then we performed it and we shot it as a video, and then that's the end of the episode, so people could see the final product.
Is that what you're gonna say there? Yeah.
I was gonna say I think that's like how if we did that episode, I think that's what we would do.
What's the last sketch you wrote? Can you remember? I can't remember the last sketch I wrote.
Do you, I mean, like for TV?
I mean, I haven't
or
written
just
a
like
sketch
in general?
in years, I guess, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I mean, the last thing would have been something for TV, and I just can't remember what it was.
Have you written one? And not for a couple of years.
I haven't typed one. I've pitched sketches for award shows recently and stuff like that, but I don't think I've typed up a comedy sketch since me and Weiger were on Sarah Silverman.
Oh, right, yeah.
Oh, yeah, Dr. Pepper is so sciencey. I do kind of like it though. Like, but
see, that's how I feel. See, and now this one is the one I stopped buying because I thought that I hated it. But let's see.
One sketch I wrote for the Sarah Silverman show that didn't get produced that she liked, and then she kind of turned on and she was like, I don't think this works anymore. But it was because it was like the show is like kind of like a political thing, so you're trying to write political stuff. You're trying to not be like too preachy. Which is what's always annoying about trying to write to those shows is you don't want to seem like we're trying to like this isn't normal. You don't want to be that fucking guy.
Yeah.
So you try to write something you try to come up with something a little bit sillier from a different angle. The one I had was like an anti-gun PSA, but it was all about guys who'd accidentally blown their own dicks off. So just guys like, I blew my dick off. Like, you guns, we gotta get rid of these, you know? And then it was just that, but then it didn't go anywhere.
You guys should shoot that.
Yeah, it might be fun.
I had a sketch there that I was excited about. Had a little bit of momentum. Sarah liked it, and I remember she was like, "Who do you want to be in this?" And I was like, "I think Mookie Blakelock." And she's like, "Oh, I love Mookie. He would be great." And we're like, "Oh, this would be great." And the card goes on the board, and it's gonna be funny sketch with our friend Mookie in it.
Yeah.
And then one day Sarah came and she was like, "You know what? You know who'd be good in that sketch? Brad Pitt." And I was like, yeah.
Mookie v. Pitt?
And she's like, I think Brad Pitt. Like, I met him at a party. He was cool. He seemed like he knew me and was a fan. And I was like, okay. And then it comes time to shoot the episode, and like Brad Pitt hasn't gotten back to us. So the card comes off the board and gets put on the side because we're waiting to hear from Brad Pitt's people.
Right.
Then the whole season happens. Brad never gets back to us, and then the sketch dies. And it was very funny. For one moment, I was like crossing out Mookie and writing Brad Pitt. But I think they go up against each other for a lot of roles.
Yeah. That is a funny thing when something becomes contingent on a casting ask and then it just doesn't happen because then no one ever replies or whatever.
What's fun, you know what I even appreciate is coming in when it was supposed to be a much bigger star, and like we were supposed to be someone big, and they're like, "Oh, we got Mitch," instead of, "Yeah, all right, I'll do it." That makes me happy. It's great.
Pepsi Zero we're tasting right now. This is one we have sometimes. I do like the Pepsi Zero. I do think it works. The one I think really works is the Wild Cherry Pepsi Zero. And that's one I get in the tiny cans. Those little can Wild Cherry Pepsi Zeros, those are hitting.
I don't know if I can do it. I might have to tap out. This is insane.
It's a lot of soda.
I'm getting full
but
from the soda.
The only one left is the one you love.
Before.
Oh, right. Yeah, we did have
What did you have?
We had Jersey Mike's.
I don't know if this is a plastic bottle situation. We're drinking all these out of bottles, as we mentioned. I don't think this Pepsi Zero is hitting right now.
Is a 2-liter better tasting than the, what is this? 20, what is it, 24
20
ounce?
ounces?
I think we got
20 ounces.
Mitch,
That's
I think
right.
we got a new episode. we get the same soda in every different form factor: small can, regular
Ooh,
can,
yeah.
Amelia's
tall boy,
I love it.
cringing
12
right
ounce,
now.
2 liter.
It took a long time to deliberate what type of bottle can I should get, but the cans, there were so many of them. I was like, it's gonna be so wasteful. So
Yeah.
I got.
Oh, because you
I
can only
opted-
buy them in a 12.
No, you
You
made
could
the right
buy
call
the
here.
cans in the 6s,
Yeah.
but not every single one had that option.
Here's what's
You
weird.
made the right call here. This is great, and they're all the same, which is perfect for comparison purposes.
There are some weirdos who will, at a gas station, take one can off of a 6-pack, go up to the counter, and they will buy a single.
Yeah.
Oh, I've
Have
done
you
that.
seen this?
Yeah, I've done that.
I think you're apparently supposed to be able to do it for everything.
Yeah, you can buy a Lucy. You can just grab a can.
A Lucy, but then now there's 5 cans in a ring left over for someone that doesn't want 5 cans.
Yeah.
It just depends on the store, but usually like a 7-Eleven or a liquor store, yeah, they'll sell you an individual can.
Total Wines, you can do the little 6-pack and you can just pull them off of it, which I
Well, I
might
know
do.
Total Wines, that's the thing with the 6-pack, but I mean, I'm talking to 7-Eleven, people pulling out a Lucy.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Jesus.
I'm
You're
part
one of
the
those
problem.
guys.
I'll 100% do that.
Ugh.
I just remembered a funny thing about you said casting when it's a more famous person and then they get you.
Yeah.
Me and Hanford did a thing kind of recently where we went in and the script was our characters' names were Tim Robinson and Sam Richardson. they never changed it. And we're like, that's great. I love those guys.
Yeah.
I'm honored that you thought of us.
That's great.
Pepsi's
Dork Troiders, if you ask me. I'm kidding.
Pepsi
We're the
Zero's
stars of a new series on Comedy Central called Dork Traders.
Troiders.
Pepsi Zero's not clicking for me right now. I'm gonna try the Coke
Wow.
Zero. Last one.
Look, it's going to be a wasteful episode, but we do have to do a 2-liter versus 20-ounce versus can versus glass bottle. It has to happen.
What would you choose? Would you just choose Coca-Cola Classic? Is that the soda?
I think
Man.
you could do it for different companies, like Pepsi's version versus Coke's version.
Oh,
Interesting.
you're saying do we just do? We would just do one. Yes,
You do one single soda. I
Yes.
think that's a way to play it. Like if you want to do more than one, but I think if you do one single soda, that's got in every different form factor it's sold in.
Doesn't Pepsi Zero taste like flat?
It does. It is a little flat.
It's just
Yeah,
kind of flat and
weird. Yeah, it's weird.
There's not enough crisp or bite to it or whatever's going
Yeah.
on.
Need some more bubbles like my piss.
It's weird how different Pepsi and Coke are back to back.
Yeah.
It makes you even be like, what is cola? Is it just anything that's brown? Because they taste. Is that it? Is that the definition?
I think
I think brown is part of it. Yeah. They are starkly different back to back.
I mean, Coke Zero is one of my favorite.
I think
Coca-Cola
this is
Zero
great.
Sugar or whatever.
This Coke
it's
Zero
called.
is great, and this is one of my favorites. I don't know if this is number one. This might be number one. I don't know.
So far for me, Sunkist Zero.
Sunkist Zero is great.
And you guys like the root beer.
I like the
Zero.
root beer quite a bit.
And the ginger ale.
I like the ginger ale a lot.
Yeah, I
Ginger
think
ale,
they're
root beer, Sunkist, and Coke are probably the top.
Do we have 7 of them? I think there are 4 winners.
Sprite is a loser to me.
Sprite was bad. The Pepsi
Dr.
Zero
Pepper,
was
Pepsi
disappointing.
Zero is maybe next worst.
And I think the Dr. Pepper was honestly like it
Yeah.
was just a little too chemically.
I'll put that in the third spot, the third from the bottom.
Yeah.
Now, how do we rank these ones, though? Can we? Is it even possible?
Mitch, can you taste the difference between the bottle and the Coke Zero and the can next to you?
I'll tell you right now, because I just had that.
Let me just taking a sip from a glass that he's poured the bottle into.
100%.
Wow.
Really?
Wow.
Would you mind go getting a Coke Zero? Just I want you guys
This
to
is
try this.
fascinating.
Here, I got it.
So can you articulate what the difference is, or are they just different the way that Coke and Pepsi
I think
are?
that this is going to sound very dumb, but the difference is
Metallic?
there's a bottle difference. You can tell that there's a bottle
There's a
taste.
bottle difference.
But is that bottle taste like plastic?
Now, you know me.
I absolutely do, yeah.
Yeah, I think I know you pretty well.
I'm a bottle man. As a boy, I loved Bubba Juice Chop Chip with milk.
That's
Yeah,
right.
Of course.
So I was never against bottles, but something with these plastic, there is just something that is crisper and more bubbly with this can. You're going to see it for yourself right now.
I kind of this is a whole thing. Thank you so much, Emma. This is a whole thing where I'm like, because they'll do shit like the straws have been talked about way too much, but it's a fucking annoying thing. But I understand where they're coming from with banning straws. But that's the sort of thing that just inconveniences and upsets everybody.
Yeah.
I think if we went through
Trump
and someone,
will change that, I'm
and someone-
sure,
yeah.
in this year.
but someone was like, hey, you know what? Everyone dislikes fucking plastic bottles. They're wasteful.
Yes.
Shit tastes worse than them.
I
And
don't
the
even
only
like the way these look.
They look like
when that's
shit.
in my
Shit.
car, I'm like, get that out of my car.
They're fucking hideous. And
Get rid of plastic. Plastic sucks. It's killing us.
exactly. And the only reason they exist is because they're cheaper for manufacture for industry, and then also the petroleum industry, like, makes so much off of manufacturing them. But I'm like, so this is a thing where if you actually wanted to make a difference in the environment and also like get the people behind you, you could be like, hey, we're gonna ban single-use plastic bottles because those are fucking annoying and we hate them. But there's no political will for something like that.
No.
All right, I'm gonna open up the Coke Zero in the can.
So
Actually, Catman, do you want to have some of this?
I would love to. Mitch,
I'll let you do first pour.
if you said it's more like crisp and bubbly,
Bubbly,
that
yeah.
I understand. I'm curious about taste.
I honestly think you're gonna think it tastes better. We'll see. I know.
Okay.
I know. I'm gonna get it after you're done, Nick.
I just had the last swig of my Coke Zero in the bottle. I'm pouring the can.
I mean, look at just even the pour already. Look at the fizz you got on that pour.
Yeah, it's got a better fizz.
It's really hard to not pay attention to that temperature change.
It's better.
It's way better, but it's
Way
also fresh out of the fridge
Yeah, it's also colder.
and just recently popped.
There is some sort of the spice. The spice. I just have.
It's funny. It's especially right when
The
you said that.
spice.
I was getting like a clovey cinnamon out of this.
Yeah.
There's something going on. There's a difference.
Aluminum is superior. The spice must flow, and the aluminum allows that to
Who
happen.
likes bottles?
No one likes plastic bottles. They fucking suck.
They suck.
They suck for
How
everything.
stupid they look there.
If they could,
Pathetic. Come on.
if they could, they'd put like wine and beer in plastic bottles.
No, baby.
That's a good point. They don't put wine or beer ever in plastic.
Yeah. Really
'Cause it
cheap
wouldn't
beer
work.
sometimes you'll see. But it's
In
but
plastic?
Yeah.
I wonder if alcohol like eats the plastic more
I
than
wonder.
this does.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
That's
Glass
delicious.
bottles. Bring back glass bottles.
Love glass bottles.
Yeah.
This is now my favorite by far.
Yeah, this is way better than all the bottle ones.
Yeah, like we were getting sick of soda, and you were gonna like maybe bail. Now you're having this. And you're like, oh, this is delicious. I'm drinking a lot of it.
That is, this is the number one for me overall for sure.
Yeah.
And then after that, now I feel like I'm ranking this higher just because we had the good version of it. But I think for me, my rankings would be Coke Zero, Sunkist Zero, ginger ale root beer, Dr. Pepper, Pepsi, Sprite. Those are my rankings.
Mitch, mine are the exact same, except I'd switch Pepsi and Dr. Pepper.
Wow.
Otherwise, yeah, we're ballpark buds.
Where did you have Canada Dry?
I had Canada Dry beat root beer by one. It was Canada Dry root beer.
Canada Dry is my number one.
Fair.
Wow.
I love it. I love that.
I
drink.
get it. It's great.
delicious. But here's what's weird. It's like if these were the normal full strength sugar sodas, I would probably rank Canada Dry first. So then now we're having the weird sciencey knockoffs, and I'm still ranking it first. I try to not bring that bias, and I try.
Right.
I try.
We appreciate you trying to.
But when I took a sip of that today, I was like, I love this shit.
It's good. I mean, the cutoff after Canada Dry, I think they're bad. I think Dr. Pepper's close, but Dr. Pepper's not great. The Pepsi Zero and Sprite Zero, I think, are bad.
Yeah, I wouldn't drink. I agree. Like Pepsi Zero and Sprite Zero are not worth having. And I guess the Dr. Pepper I probably wouldn't need. But again, about the whiskey, it mixes very nicely.
Yes, yeah. I put root beer below ginger ale, but I would say ginger ale up are good. I think they're good drinks.
Delightful.
Yep.
Yeah.
I have a pitch for an episode, which is 0 to Hero 2 Deep Cuts. And
Are we having Catman back? He's a busy
hey, we can
man.
have Catman back if he's available.
Can tonic water be they don't have a zero. It's only diet. Damn.
We can allow it.
We'll
Do the
see.
diet.
Please allow
We'll see.
that.
Do the diet version, 0 to Hero.
Honestly, Diet 0 to Hero is another great one.
Wait,
my pitch was going to be Deeper Cuts, where we all do the things that, like, we do like the A&W cream soda. We do like the
Ooh.
Wild Cherry Pepsi Zero. We
Yeah.
do ones
They're
that are a
weird.
little bit more exotic that I like, and also some ones that I haven't had. I had the Cranberry Sprite Zero. That one was pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Well,
We'll
we'll
get
see
the
what
canned version.
Canned versions would
Yeah.
be great.
Let's see what the public's response is to this episode.
If they just hate this, I'm like, no, the sequel's coming, everybody.
Tim was great, but those two fat guys are annoying.
You know what's an obscure, a deep cut diet soda I like is a Dr. Brown Black Cherry.
Oh, sure.
That's really good.
Do you think is black cherry a distinct flavor?
Yeah. Yeah, because think about when you get think about the cherry that comes with your cocktail.
Yeah.
You could have a red maraschino or you can have a dark Luxardo brandy cherry.
Oh, sure.
I think of that black cherry kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. It's kind of its own thing.
Yep.
All right.
What type of this is a leftover flavor saver question.
I'm still thinking from the flavor it.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, hey Tim, thanks so much for joining us. What a treat to have you as always.
Me.
You the Sloppy Boys are touring. You mentioned
Wait,
earlier.
Tim, what did you say your favorite? Your favorite?
My Canada Dry.
No. Remember we said butter was our number one. What did you say was your?
Oh, I said vanilla, and then when
Hell
said butter, I said no. You're right.
Oh,
Because I've actually thought that about butter. I have this weird thing with food lately, where I'm more interested in an interesting taste than a good one.
yeah.
And I think that it's kind of just because butter. You make anything buttery, it's delicious. If you want good taste, just eat butter. But then if I'm out at a weird restaurant eating weird food, it's more about being interesting. But butter just makes everything so good.
I agree.
Butter rocks.
That's why I won.
Tim, and the Sloppy Boys also rock. Y'all are going to be touring. Wait, but is it the podcast or is it the band?
We're going to be doing a live cocktail podcast.
Oh, that's fun.
As of tonight, we'll be in Atlanta, home of Coca-Cola.
Hotlanta, I call it. Check that out.
Mm-hmm. And then we're tearing up the East Coast and then the Midwest. And then the band is going to tour the West Coast at the end of March as well.
Ooh,
There you go.
I love it.
Check out the Sloppy Boys on tour. What a wonderful show you'll get there if you go on out. And God, what a fucking terrible way to say that.
No, that's good.
Yeah, if you go on out, you're gonna
Go on out. You're
If
gonna see
you
a
go
wonderful
on out,
show.
you're going to get a good show.
I can't talk. I think someone put a hex on me. And then put a little hat on Mike. You put the hat on Jemmy. You look over at her.
Anyways, for the Bark Boys, that barks it for today. Bark, bark.
Ooh.
Woof.
Ooh.
Bow wow.
This could be the sketch.
Oh,
It's pretty good.
dog witch.